Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy runs away from Finn and his odd dad's plan for his crazy daughter. Viewers of Bold and the Beautiful have already seen Steffy Forrester's escape strategy. She takes the children and gets the Forrester Creations jet to be fueled up on the CBS soap opera in order to escape Finn. Therefore, it won't be shocking to BNB fans if Steffy leaves to deal with having a deadly stepdaughter when John Finnegan eventually works up the nerve to tell her the truth. Flaunting the Bold and the Beautiful, will Steffy Forrester leave? When Steffy Forrester has to deal with unpleasant news, Bold and the Beautiful typically has an exit strategy. This was demonstrated when John Finnegan, also known as Finn, attempted to become close to Sheila Carter, his birth mother. Spoilers for Steffy Forrester, John Finnegan, and Finn in Bold and the Beautiful. She might therefore decide to leave rather than deal with the situation as a pair. Usually, the first hint to her plan is a phone call to the airport. However, something is different this time. Taylor Hayes, Steffy's mother, was typically absent during several of her previous crisis situations. This time, however, Taylor and her father, Ridge Forrester, reside in the Forrester mansion. Fans of Bold and the Beautiful speculate that she will run away, but it might involve a car journey across town rather than a flight over the ocean. BNB spoilers, Steffy finds Finn's secret difficult to accept. According to spoilers on Bold and the Beautiful, Finn will inform Steffy. The fact that he was unaware of his secret daughter until lately may perhaps make sense to her. However, she probably finds it difficult to comprehend what happened between Finn and Poppy Nozawa, Romy Park, 2 decades ago. Steffy is probably upset because Finn didn't tell her about the night he had sex with Poppy. Steffy Forrester might think about the situation, and his elder aunt will probably turn out to be the predator. After all, when they gave birth to Luna Nozawa, John Finnegan was still a teenager or just barely out of adolescence. However, because Finn delayed days to tell her after learning the news, Steffy might believe he doesn't understand how significant this life-altering information is. With Steffy, Finn is probably going to have a disaster on his hands. She therefore runs away when she is unable to handle things. However, it's still unclear where she will go this time on Bold and Beautiful. Spoilers for Steffy Forrester, John Finnegan, and Finn in Bold and the Beautiful. But by remaining put, she might surprise the people and end up rooting for Finn. However, this is Steffy Forrester, and many of her choices are influenced by her family. Given that John Finnegan's family has a longer history of murder than they initially thought, Ridge probably advises her to break up with him. Although Taylor might be more forgiving, Steffy is Daddy's little girl, therefore he has a lot of power over her. Spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful, horrible news? According to spoilers for the Bold and the Beautiful, the news is expected to be revealed this week. As the word gets out next week, Lee Finnegan will become a complete mess. Lee's sister, Poppy, is also Finn's aunt. However, as he is adopted, there is no lineage between the two. Over the years, he has convinced himself that this was not a taboo occasion. However, he and Poppy might be the only ones who think that way. His issues with Steffy Forrester, however, don't end when she finds out she has a violent stepdaughter. Because he was never given the opportunity to be the father Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, needed, Finn is fit to be tied. He probably makes an effort to compensate for that in any way he can. However, convincing Luna to support Finn's desire to be the father he should have been is unlikely to succeed because Luna attempted to kill Steffy Forrester. It appears that Steffy Forrester will soon be leaving Bold and the Beautiful aboard the company jet or taking a little road trip across town to stay with her folks. She most likely has to leave Finn alone and adjust to her new life on the CBS soap opera, at the very least. Steffy is shocked by Finn's revelation, while Remy surprises Luna. According to Friday, February 21st spoilers on the Bold and the Beautiful, Remy Price surprises Luna Nozawa, and Steffy Forrester will be devastated by John Finnegan's disclosure. First of all, Remy will be free of police custody and prepared for a fresh start. Remy is likely to say that he has realized his mistakes and that he is hoping for atonement. If Remy wants to stay in Los Angeles, he will obviously need a work, thus he will try to acquire a job at Il Giardino once more. Deacon Sharp must determine whether he is prepared to take that chance and reinstate Remy on his staff. Remy will ultimately find his way to the Spencer estate, regardless of whether he genuinely wants to make amends or whether it's all a front. In order to contact Will Spencer and Elector Forrester and apologize, Remy may intend to ask Bill Spencer for assistance. In any event, when Luna spots Remy in the living room, there will be some misunderstanding. Remy will have the chance to get a close-up look at her since Luna will question whether he's there to fix the air conditioner. Remy will have the impression that he has seen Luna before, possibly because of all the news reports about Tom Starr and Paul Hollister's tragic deaths. Nevertheless, given his abilities, Remy doesn't seem to be the kind to be afraid of Luna. In any case, Luna might be aware that Remy might reveal her house arrest secret, so she might make a request that him not speak. On Friday's B&B episode, Lee Finnegan and Poppy Nozawa will spend some time together as sisters. Lee will apologize once more for her previous harsh treatment of Poppy and express her desire that they may start over as siblings. Poppy and Lee will most likely give each other another passionate embrace, but Poppy might not be able to completely appreciate it. Poppy will have cause to be concerned about the impending backlash because Finn is adamant that he will tell Steffy the truth. Finn will sit down with Steffy at the Cliff home and confess that he's ready to share what has been hurting him. As Finn admits that Steffy won't want to hear this, she will become anxious. Finn will undoubtedly admit something, but will he disclose the whole truth or hold back? If Finn just admits that Luna is missing and that the prison is giving him the runaround on where she was sent, he might allow Poppy to enter his thoughts. Finn might, however, follow through on his plan and tell Steffy that Luna is his daughter. Stay tuned for more predictions on all the craziness that lies ahead, as Steffy will be thrown for a loop no matter what. According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy is going to receive information about a shocking development and will undoubtedly react strongly. Is Poppy able to get Finn's pardon for preserving Luna's paternity? After all these years, Poppy Nozawa and her sister Lee Finnegan are set to reconcile, according to spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. But Poppy has blown up her romance with John Finnegan in the interim. Can Poppy get away with denying Finn fatherhood to Luna Nozawa? Poppy Nozawa is irritated with John Finnegan. When Poppy told him she was pregnant years ago, Finn questioned her directly if he was the baby's father. After Poppy reassured Finn that it was not feasible, they parted ways. Sadly, Poppy was mistaken and even attempted to claim that Luna was Bill Spencer's property. To make it true, Luna even falsified the paternity test. Now in her 20s, Luna was determined to keep Bill as her father. Luna undoubtedly didn't want to think that her father was Tom Starr. To prevent it, Luna even went so far as to murder Tom. Luna also killed her buddy Paul Hollister after he learned about Tom. Steffy Forrester, Finn's wife, was also taken captive by Luna. Luna Nozawa's mental health was impacted by her need for a father. For years, Luna had pleaded with her mother to reveal her father's identity. Finn genuinely thinks that Luna would not have ended up the way she did if Poppy had been honest with her. Since Luna has already become a murderer and nearly killed Steffy along with the others, there is really no way to know that. Finn must now inform his wife that his daughter with Poppy is his counts in Luna. Finn has discussed how Poppy would divert his attention when he was working too hard, but he hasn't mentioned the fact that he had an affair with his adopted aunt years prior. Finn is now aware that his tryst with Poppy changed both his daughter's mental health and his entire existence. John Finnegan has received an apology from Poppy Nozawa. Poppy has repeatedly apologized to Finn, but Finn doesn't believe her. Finn doesn't think for a second that Poppy didn't know that fact and that she was only defending herself. Despite their recent reconciliation, Poppy and Lee's relationship is currently on the verge of blowing up. How can Lee forgive her sister for keeping Luna away from them and having an affair with her son? Poppy has been championed by Jack Finnegan. Regretfully, Jack would soon discover that he has a grandchild that he was also unaware of. After all of her falsehoods, can Poppy able to rebuild her relationship with her family? Has this paternity hoax ruined Poppy's connection with the whole family? Spoilers for Friday, February 21st, 2025's episodes of The Bold and the Beautiful include Remy's return, Lee's heartfelt apology, and Finn's choice. Remy Price will be back in tomorrow's episode, viewers can anticipate. Lee Finnegan extends a sincere apology to Penelope Poppy Nozawa. A final decision is also made by John Finnegan. Let's discuss what will happen in the upcoming episode of the CBS soap opera as you continue reading. Don't forget to check out our B&B spoilers for next week, here. Remy Price is back. Fans will be able to see Remy again on Friday, February 21st. Remy will return to Il Giardino to request his job be reinstated. Naturally, given what Remy accomplished, Deacon Sharp could be rather perplexed by his request. The Spencer and Forrester families are among Deacon's most frequent clients. Perhaps the accusations were dropped, or perhaps Remy has a fantastic cover story. In any event, Remy won't be leaving anytime soon. In reference to Remy, Luna can be seen in a weekly preview footage asking him if he's available to service the air conditioner. When Remy turns around, he is not carrying any tools and is not dressed in a work uniform. Will Remy reveal his true identity and the reason for his presence to Luna? Is Luna able to disclose that she is under house arrest? Will these two become pals, lovers, or co-conspirators? In any event, Remy might end up being a major issue for Bill Spencer. This could give the villain too much leverage, even if Remy agrees to remain silent. Due to Luna's large mouth, it would be simple to witness Remy blackmailing Bill. However, it can also present Luna with an opportunity to demonstrate that she has changed since a few months ago. Lee Finnegan's sincere apologies. According to spoilers on The Bold and the Beautiful, Lee and Poppy will reunite. Lee will really apologize for Poppy this time. Poppy has always desired her sister's affection and respect, but she is concealing a more sinister secret. When Lee finds out that Finn is actually Luna's father, how will she respond? Read more, The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, Poppy Nozawa must pay for Sheila Carter's retaliation. Finnegan's choice by John. He is resolved to be honest with Steffy Forrester Finnegan, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, over with Finn. Although Finn has been discussing disclosing the truth for a week, it is hinted that he takes a choice. Does this suggest that Finn may conceal Luna's paternity from Steffy? Stay tuned because Steffy will undoubtedly find out if Finn does decide to keep this to himself. Lonely Liam depends on Steffy Thursday, February 20th, 2025, spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful hint at Steffy re-establishing a slight intimacy with Liam. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Liam needs love. Steffy Forrester Finnegan is unaware that things are going to take a turn for the worse once more. Because her top goals are always getting at Hope Logan, Annika Noel, and making sure her parents are reunited, she is unaware of everything that is going on around her. John Finnegan is obviously thinking about something, but Steffy dismisses it all because she has more pressing things to do. Liam Spencer always appears when Steffy's life seems to be ready to take a turn for the worst. Since Hope broke up with him about 2 years ago, he hasn't had a lady or much else in his life. As Liam complains about his miserable life, Steffy is glad to amuse him and serve as his sounding board. Will he bring up his father's recent unusual behavior? Steffy hadn't even considered Dollar Bill Spencer until right before she was abducted by Luna Nozawa and imprisoned in a cage. Liam is more concerned about himself and his depressing existence than he is about Bill, who is not typically a recluse. More pleas from Poppy. When Finn tried to inform Steffy that Luna was his daughter, he simply couldn't find the right words. He is unsure of Steffy's reaction because the story is so convoluted. Finn's fear is understandable given that she must cope with Sheila Carter as his mother. Because of Sheila's issues, Steffy has almost abandoned him several times. Poppy Nozawa needs to keep this little gem concealed for as long as possible, so she's relieved that Finn hasn't been able to spew out the truth yet. Because she was foolish enough to woo her nephew all those years ago, she is not going to forfeit the newfound bond she has with her sister. An air of anxiety and inevitable doom had descended upon the estate like a dense fog in the quiet hallways of Forrester Creations, where long-standing grudges and whispered secrets frequently clash with the luxury of high-stakes commerce. Three pivotal incidents that would permanently change the lives of individuals entangled in this complex web of love, treachery, and ambition occurred on this day, which saw the exposing of ancient scars and the hanging of destiny. As her entreaties were ignored, Poppy, the steadfast matriarch who had spent years begging everyone to preserve the family's honor, found herself becoming more and more desperate. She had been pleading with Finn for months to change his ways and put the Forrester legacy ahead of his own desires, her voice quivering with authority and pain as she reminded him of the weight of responsibility and history. Finn had, however, steadfastly refused to listen to her passionate pleas, his eyes frequently focused on the horizon of his own inner turmoil rather than hers. He chose to disregard the passionate cries of a lady who had once been his beacon of hope, as if he had shut his conscience behind a wall of indifference. With a steadying breath that belied the storm raging inside him, Finn turned away from Poppy's fervent pleas and, in a moment of raw, unfiltered vulnerability, finally faced Steffy with the truth he had kept hidden for so long. It was as if the mounting pressure had finally reached a breaking point. The voice that cut through the silence of a boardroom where every eye was on him and every heart thumped in anticipation of a revelation that would either mend or shatter the fragile bonds of trust that had long defined his relationships was not the typical hushed tones of a man burdened by shame, but rather one that resonated with both regret and the bitter relief of honesty. Finn's truth poured out like a torrent, describing the secrets that had tormented him, the betrayals that had weakened his attempts to keep the Forrester empire loving and orderly, and the heartbreaking insight that the life he had created was now a house of cards on the edge of disintegration. Steffy, who had long balanced her own hopes and fears on a razor-thin edge, was stunned into silence as his words, laden with years of guilt and the agonizing realization of past mistakes, reverberated off the walls. Her expression was a mixture of sorrow, disbelief, and a dawning clarity about the true nature of the man she had once trusted implicitly. It was a moment that changed everything. Finn's admission was a last-ditch effort to restore some integrity in a world that had grown more and more tainted by dishonesty, not just a confession of guilt. A voice that was raw with dissatisfaction and frustration, that of Liam, whose own difficulties and existential misery had reached a boiling point, broke through the tension as Finn's truth lingered in the heated air. After navigating the Forrester legacy's perilous waters with a combination of ambition and constant self-doubt, Liam now found himself in a moment of stark clarity where his life's accumulation of failures culminated in the unsettling realization that his life actually stank. Delivered during a period of sad reflection, his words were intended to express the crushing weight of loneliness and disillusionment he felt amid the never-ending cycle of power struggles and broken promises rather than to place blame. Speaking in a low, almost frantic voice, Liam admitted that every day felt like an unrelenting battle against internal and external forces, a life in which the very core of who he was had been eroded by the incessant demands of a legacy he never really chose, and where even the slightest triumphs were marred by the overwhelming sense of failure. His confession struck a deep chord with those who had watched him fight through setbacks and betrayals only to be repeatedly sidelined in a story that seemed determined to keep him on the periphery of power. His eyes glistened with the raw emotion of a man who had endured the brunt of the familial drama for far too long. These three incidents, Finn's protracted confrontation with Steffy, Liam's heartbreaking admission of despair, and Poppy's unrelenting, ignored pleas, combined to create a tapestry of emotional turmoil that perfectly captured the tumultuous nature of the Forrester family. Every character was forced to face the repercussions of their actions and the inevitable collision of past grievances with the demands of a changing future during a day that had started with the quiet desperation of a matriarch and ended with the unbridled honesty of a man facing his inner demons. Once resonating with the mundane hum of corporate ambition, the corridors of Forrester Creations now throbbed with the raw energy of personal revolution, a seismic shift that held the promise of redefining alliances, reshaping destinies, and forcing all parties involved to face the agonizing truths that had long been hidden beneath layers of love, ambition, and betrayal. As the day progressed and the effects of Finn's revelation spread, the emotional storm left a lasting impression on all the characters, forcing them to confront the harsh truth that, in the high-stakes world of bold and the beautiful, the price of truth is frequently measured in shattered illusions and broken hearts. A testament to the transformational power of honesty, the lingering silence as the sun sank below the horizon, casting long shadows over the elaborate architecture of Forrester Creations, served as a reminder that even in the midst of regret and despair, facing one's inner truth can be the catalyst for a new beginning, no matter how difficult the journey may be.